What's going on, guys? Claykeysalt back again with another unit spotlight, this time covering the newly minted 6-star Chizuru. And I gotta say, guys, she's pretty good. She's pretty far up there. Chizuru is going to come with you and be your physical damage dealer, samurai chick. Cool. She is exclusive to Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, so she's a Brave Exvius, like, unique character that they made up for the story. Let's get into it. Chizuru comes in at 4-star base, going up to 6-star now. So she's somewhat difficult to get at a 4-star base, but that's okay. She's been on several banners and probably more to come, so maybe not that hard to get. Her TM is called Blade Mastery. It's going to increase your attack by 50%. Remember, that is your base attack when equipped with a katana. Now, this is one of the best in-slot physical damage dealing TMs that are out there. 50% is a crap ton, and most of the time, obviously, you're going to be pairing this with a katana. 50% to your base attack at 6 stars, bases with stat pots all the way up. It's going to be massive attack, guys, so very, very good, worth farming, top 5, top 10, somewhere in that category TM, very, very nice. Next up, the limit break for Chizuru is called Phantom Blade. Pretty kind of meh limit break, just going to do physical damage to one opponent. Probably looks cool when you do it, but other than that, I probably don't see you using this, limit break unless you're out of mana, you're in a tough spot, you just need to use the limit burst. Next up, again, we're going to start talking about stat pots. You want to use attack stat pots on Chizuru, as they are a physical damage dealer, or she is a physical damage dealer, and you want to get that attack up as much as possible, maybe to work with that Blade Mastery, or any of her other passives that do increase her attack. And then the other pot could be an HP pot, if you guys would like. You want your physical damage dealers, or any damage dealers, to be able to live through a lot of hits, or it could be MP, so you can dish out more. I chose HP here to give an example. Now let's talk about the passive abilities that Chizuru gets, and the ones I think are most important. We're going to go with Counter, 30% chance to counter physical, attacks on her, so that's 30% chance that when they hit her, she's going to hit him back if it's physical damage. Pretty good. High Tide, plus 100% to your limit burst fill rate, which means she's going to be getting her limit burst a lot faster than average units. However, again, her limit burst isn't the best, or just isn't that useful. I would rather be doing her other abilities most of the time, so this passive is kind of going to be lost in the dust. This one's a cool one here called Molts, 20% chance to negate physical damage. So on top of the fact that she has a 30% chance to, counter back and hit you when you do physical damage to her, she also has a 20% chance to just negate physical damage that happens to her altogether. So pretty damn good there. And then her best passive she has, in my opinion, Blade and Body, plus attack, defense, magic, and spirit by 25% when katana wielding. So when having a katana equipped, which, if you didn't know, she can only equip daggers and katanas, so more than likely you're going to have a katana on her. So this is amazing. It's boosting your stats up. With the stat pots, it makes it even better, and 25% is amazing. So very, 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 very good passive there. It makes her more tanky, more durable, and make her dish out more damage. I love it. I love it. Moving on to our attack abilities, we have Finger Snap. Now, this isn't really one you're going to be dealing for damage, but I do want to mention it, as it does a little bit of physical damage, and it dispels someone. So it's going to dispel on one target. So for bosses that you need to dispel, maybe your healer's incapacitated, can't do it, Chizuru's got your back and has at least that little bit of versatility to be able to dispel and get everything off of the boss if you need to. She also has Barrage, and I remember back in the day when Barrage was the big daddy ability. It's going to hit 4 times at a physical damage rate of 3.2, and it's going to hit random enemies. Now, guys, this is still a good ability. However, we've learned that there are better abilities out there that are outcoming. Chizuru has better abilities, so this one's kind of on the back burner, but there are going to be times when it actually is the ability you're going to want to use, so I wanted to mention it. Glint is the go-to single target move, in my opinion, in Chizuru's kit. It's going to do physical damage, the multiplier is 2, and it's going to ignore 25% of the defense. And the 25% defense ignoring is very, very, very critical here, guys. Let's say, for example, you full break an opponent and they go down by 30%. This is still going to stack on that, but it's going to take 25%, in my opinion. This is the way I think it works, guys. You can comment down below. 25% of the remaining defense of the opponent. So if you break their defense down by 30%, whatever that remaining number is, it's going to take 25% off of that, ignore it, and get in there and do some damage. So I do believe Glint is the go-to single target move for Chizuru. And then we also have another single target move that she has, which is Dismissal. It's going to do 2.1 1 multiply factor of physical damage, and has a 30% chance to stop an opponent, and it's going to do it to one opponent. Now, I would much rather, almost in all cases, have the 25% ignore defense, because it's going to do more damage a lot more. Okay, it's not going to be mitigated as much, but the 30% stop chance could be important. Maybe there are some bosses or some enemies you need to stop for a turn, or in the arena it could be used, but I feel like Dismissal is not going to get anywhere near as much use as Gwen. And then finally, her big move, the Phantom Shadow. Physical damage 1.4 times multiplier, and 50% ignore defense to all. So this is going to be your mega hit, your mega AoE hit. Very, very strong with the 50% ignore defense, and it has kind of an okay multiplier on it. Not the best, but it's still an AoE ability, so it can't be too strong. And then I want to mention here, this isn't really an attack ability, but Hayate, it's going to negate 3 damage taken for 2 turns. So anytime that Chizuru would be taking damage for 2 turns, it's going to negate it 3 times. So if somebody come and bop Chizuru in the face, Hayate will negate it. That's once, right? And then 2, 3. 3 times in 2 turns, boom, it'll wear off and you'll be back to be able to take damage. But the way this ability works, in my opinion, is that it's going to negate 3 times that you take damage, which is crazy. This adds to her whole counter and her whole molt passives here. If you decide to activate this for 2 turns, if you know there's something big coming to hit you, I do believe it's going to at least negate the damage. It won't negate the effects. Like, I don't think it will negate the status effects that would hit you, but overall, maybe this could help you beat a trial or avoid some damage you needed to. So yeah, those are all the abilities. So as you can see, Chizuru is a great physical damage dealer. Right now, she has great attack stats, but her multipliers on her moves are kind of, you know, not too amazing, and her passives don't put her too high up in the rankings, but she is very strong. She'll be a solid mid-tier physical damage dealer for you. She doesn't fight with the greats, but she is still solid and very good, and coming in at 4-star, going to 6-star, it'll be a great addition to your guys' parties. Let's move on to the builds. We're going to be talking about our free-to-play build first, and remember that Chizuru can only equip daggers and katanas, so we're going to go with a katana, and we're going to pick the Churi Jiraden. This katana did come from an event and has a fire elements on it, so it is our strongest free-to-play katana we have at the moment, but there are going to be times when the enemy might be fire resist and you're not going to want to use it, or maybe you weren't here for the event. So the other option is the Murasame. You got that from the White Dragon trial, which is the first trial you do, and we will be getting another free to obtain katana from a boss. It's going to be the Gilgamesh trial. That trial is really difficult, but I do believe it comes from there, and it's it's even stronger than the Sakura Fubuki from the Miyuki TM. You're going to want to equip the Tiger Mask, which can be crafted, a Black Belt Gi, which also can be crafted, and the Hero Rings, double Hero Ring, which can be crafted. So the rest of her gear is craftable, easy to obtain, best way to knock her out with the most attack, and then you're going to want to put attack 10% times 4 on her, in my opinion, to get the most attack out of her. That's if you're just going glass cannon. I want to dill deeps, and that's what I would do, so that's why I'm putting this example build here. And you can craft the attack 10% too, so not that bad to build her, besides her whole katana conundrum we're in, but they do give us a lot of katana to use, so that's okay. Let's talk about the Big Daddy builds, the pay-to-win builds, the most damage builds you can get, and of course we're going to start with the katana, and that's going to be the Sakura Fubuki. This katana is amazing. It comes from the Miyuki TM, so you're going to have to grind up that Miyuki, but Sakura Fubuki, best katana in the game currently. Again, we're going to be getting a better one from a trial, but for right now, Sakura Fubuki takes it. And then in the other arm slot, we are going to be dual wielding. Obviously, it's a physical damage dealer. We're going to go ahead and use Excalibur, and because Excalibur is one of the top weapons, you could put Deathbringer in here, but I like using Excalibur. That way, when we do have our Landus or other people, we can chain elements with, things like that. And then for the headpiece, comes from Cecil, by the way, the Cecil TM. Then we're going to have the Black Cow, which is the go-to physical damage dealing TM helmets or hats. That's going to come from Hayate, which is cool because apparently there's like a lore thing going on that Hayate and Miyuki are Chizuru's son and daughter or something like that, so she's wielding both of their TMs, which is pretty neat. Then we have the Brave suit coming up from Ramza. Now this is going to give you the most damage. You could also replace this with Minerva Bustier from Celeste if you wanted to. But this is the most damage. If you wanted to be a little more tanky, the Bustier, the Minerva Bustier would be where you want to go. Then you have Bracer right here, the plus 30 attack Bracer, TM from Gafgarian, the Genji Glove, dual wield attack 10%, magic 10% from Gilgamesh. And then as far as our like actual TMs go, our materias, things like that, Power of Creation, and we're going to get that from Maxwell. Lunge combo coming from Fencer. You could also use Carl's 20% attack here. We're just looking for a 20% attack here. We have to equip large large sword so we can put the Excalibur on. So that comes from Garland TM, and then Blade Mastery being Chizuru's own TM, so we can get her attack up by 50% passively, her base attack. So overall, this is what you can do with it, guys. There's also other builds, obviously, where we run double bracer, and we have to get rid of the lunge combo for a dual wield if you already had your Genji glove on someone else, or you happen not to have the Genji glove. That's the one thing you guys got to remember with these builds I give you. They are example builds. Obviously, you're not going to be able to have all these to go on all your physical damage dealers. So if you see something, you know, essentially you just want to put as much attack as you can on these guys, because that's how it's going to work for these damage dealers. You just want as much physical or magic attack, depending on what type they are, and just boost them up to do massive damage. We're going to talk about Esper now. It's going to be Ifrit. You guys probably already guessed it. Ifrit's really, really good for physical damage dealers. Give you some killing ability. Gives you the most attack. There will be Espers in the future that will take Ifrit's place as top dog, but for now it's still Ifrit. And if you're going against a human and you have nobody else to stack human killer passive on, you could throw Diablo also on Chizuru. That would be good too. As overall, what do I think of Chizuru? Again, I think she's a middle tier physical damage dealer that's going to be there for you. A little bit of versatility, kind of hard to kill, and just doesn't, even with the dual wield TM, just isn't stacking up to the greats, and as a free-to-play player, definitely isn't. If this video helped you out, please give it a thumbs up, comment down below how you feel about Chizuru, or how you're building her, and then subscribe for future content. We'll catch you guys later.